Welcome to Weekend Smash, Superhero Speak's quick hit news show where we give you the week's top stories affecting geek culture. So let's get started.
Earlier this month, it was revealed that Joaquin Phoenix is in talk to play the Joker in the upcoming standalone film. The Joker movie is rumored to be an origin story set in the 1980s and is being produced by Martin Scorsese, with Todd Phillips writing and directing. This would mean that Phoenix will follow in the footsteps of Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and Jared Leto when it comes to playing the DC villain on the big screen. No release date has been set at this point. Hey Dave, what do you think about Joaquin Phoenix playing the new Joker?
I'm all for it. I'm willing to give it a chance. You can't do any worse than Jared Leto. And I think, after no one believed Heath Ledger would do a good job, and he did an awesome job, and Joaquin Phoenix has been an Oscar-caliber actor time and time again, so I believe he could do it. My only issue is the fact that they want to make this an origin movie, and Joaquin Phoenix is already in his 40s, so I don't know if that works for me personally. But only time will tell, right?
Right, he could just be a troubled middle-aged man, decide to go homicidal and kill a bunch of people with a big smile.
Speaking of DC, this week DC announced a new company policy banning mean tweets. In a memo circulated to all the DC creators, the company stated, DC expects that its employees and freelance talent community maintain a high level of professionalism, as well as a reasonable and respectful behavior when engaging in online activities. Comments that may be considered defamatory, libelous, discriminatory, harassing, hateful, or that incite violence are unacceptable and may result in civil or criminal action. Some believe this to be a direct reaction to the recent Comicsgate controversy brewing online. Will DC enforce this policy with their top talent? Only time will tell. So, Matt, what do you think about mean tweets?
I just feel like this is DC kind of covering their backs. Them saying that the opinions of a creator doesn't reflect us, but because, we live in a world where everything's so, quote-unquote, transparent, they don't want a PR incident. And so this is their way to saying, publicly, this is what we're telling our creators, be respectful on Twitter and whatever else that, any other social media that their creators are on. But I definitely feel like this is them covering their butts, but also reinforcing probably a policy they already had, but have let it gone, not really enforced. But now getting their creators reeled back in and say, hey, we want to create a professional public image. We don't want a bad taste in our fans' mouths, if that makes sense. So, and I've had experiences where I've made a comment to a DC creator,
right,
and it was kind of a put down to DC, and he shot back saying like, "Oh, it's such a great company. I love working for it," and I respect it. And at the same time, I was also thrown off by it because I don't know. It can go one way or the other. I just feel like this is a good thing for DC to do, to say, hey, there's all this stuff out there on Twitter. We just want a clear direction that if you're going to work for DC, you're going to be respectful and you're going to keep your opinions to yourself, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Well, speaking of comics, Marvel's Black Panther hits theaters this weekend and is already breaking records. According to Fandango, Black Panther is the fourth highest movie for pre-sale tickets and the highest non-Star Wars film for pre-sales of all time. Black Panther is open to $25 million on Thursday night, making it the highest Thursday night box office in February of all time. Plus, the movie is currently sitting with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it the highest rated film in the MCU. Have you seen the film yet? Let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. So, Dave, what do you think about this news of Black Panther making history?
Well, actually, a little update to this story. For Friday, they were the 8th highest opening day of all time and the highest opening in February ever. So, yeah, it's doing really well. Of course, we've already seen the movie. We're not going to talk about it here. There will be a full spoilerific review on the podcast this week, so make sure you guys check that out at superheroespeak.com. And there will be a non-spoiler review posted by yours truly by the end of this weekend. So I hope you guys check that out as well. But I will just say that I enjoyed it, and we want to know what you guys thought of the movie. So again, let us know in the comments down below. But speaking of Marvel, with their upcoming release of Thor Ragnarok, Marvel has released a new Team Daryl short. Previously, Daryl has been seen sharing a flat with Thor while Thor was waiting to hear from the Avengers. But we now learn that Thor had left Daryl suddenly without a roommate. Luckily, his Craigslist ad was answered by none other than the Grandmaster himself, Jeff Goldblum's character from Thor Ragnarok. Check out the link to the short in the description below. So, Matt, have you ever seen any of the Team Daryl shorts, and what did you think of this one?
Well, I definitely am a big fan of Team Daryl. So I feel like it was the perfect explanation of why Thor was not, involved in Civil War. And
Right.
If you've seen Thor Ragnarok, I think he even mentions, kind of highlights some of those things that why he wasn't there. He's like, well, I don't have a phone. Well, you can email me. And he's like, what's a computer? So I definitely feel like it's a good nod to the Daryl shorts. And I have actually not seen it yet. I realize that it came out that I missed it. But if it involves the Grandmaster, I'm very interested in seeing how it plays out.
Right. Well, you'll just have to click that link like everyone else.
I see. We're going to do it. We do what we say, and we say what we do, right?
Yes.
All right. New Girls, Hannah Simone is set to play the lead in Greatest American Hero. The half-hour comedy will feature Mira Simone, an Indian-American woman, as the lead role. The reboot comes to us from Fresh Off the Boat writer-producer Rachna Fuchsman. 20th Century Fox TV will co-produce with ABC Studios. Mira is a 30-year-old Indian-American woman from Cleveland who spends her time drinking tequila and singing karaoke. Then some aliens give her a super suit to help her protect the world, despite her lack of qualifications. Based on the ABC TV series, which ran from 1980 to 1983, The Greatest American Hero follows a newish teacher who becomes a reluctant superhero after extraterrestrials give him a special suit with powers he can barely understand or control when he loses its instruction manual. The original stars William Catt, Robert Culp, and Connie Selica. The end of the original series featured the lead character finding a suitable replacement to wear the suit, and he chose a woman. What do you think of the casting of Hannah Simone? Let us know in the comments below. So, Dave, what do you think about the casting of Hannah Simone?
It's interesting. She's funny on New Girl, so we shall see how this works out. Being a big fan of the original, I know you're too young, Matt, to have watched this show when it was first on, but I was the ripe old age of 7 when it first came on, so of course it talked to me greatly. I was a big superhero fan and loved the show. And we'll have to see how they make it work. I don't think the losing the instruction manual gag works in today's world.
Right.
So we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm definitely willing to give it a shot once it comes out. And, they're taking it in a different direction with, a female lead. But again, she's funny on New Girl, so just have to wait and see,
Yeah, I was good.
Good.
I was going to say, you say I'm too young. I think you mean non-existent.
Yes, thank you for making me feel old. Cool. Well, I think that about wraps it up, so thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw here, then hit that like button. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And go check out superheroespeak.com for even more great content like our weekly podcast, reviews, interviews, and more. See you next weekend.